Good morning, everybody. I am going to paint a butterfly. We're going to be doing some dotting today, so be prepared. This was a beautiful stone that I pre-resined so that I have a smoother surface to work on. And this is a stencil, and you are allowed to use whatever you want with your artwork. I printed this stencil off on my Cricut machine. I call it a Cricut machine, but I'm sure that's an old lady way of saying it. Anyway, I cut it off or cut it out and put it on here and used gold paint, and then I'm filling it in with black. I could have probably done that a lot easier in another way, but I made it difficult for myself, and this is what I end up with. Just a little note to you about the stencil. The whole world, you have to understand how important it is. The whole world needs us to paint right now. It's so important. If you paint, sketch, dot, sing, just do it. The whole world needs that right now, especially with AI. Like, we're going to be rare, us painters who use our hands to make our artwork. Anyone who's creating using their hands or their voice or their body dancing, that's going to be like obsolete if AI goes much further. Everything I see on social media, everywhere I look, it's like altered with AI in some way. And you know, it kind of makes me sad, and the whole world is probably scared right now. So whatever you use to create your art, you use it. You go with that. Some people are like, no, that's a stencil, or no, that's a tattoo that you just put on a stone. Who cares? If you're creating art, that's all that matters. We need that in the world right now. It makes somebody smile. It makes somebody go, oh, look at that. I could do that. Let's make that. I just think it's so important. The world needs us artists. I appreciate so much. Like, my son will literally draw for hours if I don't make him do anything else, especially through the winter, because he hates going outside in all this snow. It's just too much here. I love snow, and I love sunny days with sparkling snow falling, and I get ice skating and hot chocolate. That's all fun stuff, but here it's a little much. It's when you've eaten too much of something that you really like, and then you start to feel sick. Yeah, that's what it's like living in where I live in the winter. It's pretty at first, but man, your back is broken from shoveling. People are stuck everywhere. There's been so many accidents this year. It's unbelievable already, just because of the snow, school closures, and all that fun stuff. So yeah, we've bitten off more than we can chew, and I can't stand it anymore. So my son does not play out there very often. It's just too much. Standing at the bus stop in the morning and walking everywhere we go to get groceries and stuff like that in this winter, ooh, it's awful. I don't recommend it. So we spend most of our time inside, and he spends time on his PlayStation. His brother and his grandma and I got him a PlayStation 5 for Christmas. And so he has spent some time on there, but he really does draw a lot. He likes to create. So I think it's so important. It's so important. And I stopped singing, like, because of all the stress and stuff going on in my life. I really, like, it took my voice away, and I stopped singing. And now I'm like really wanting to, because I just feel like it would make me feel better to sing, but it would also might make other people feel better. Who knows? Maybe I can't sing anymore. But yeah, like we just need more of that real artistic creativity flowing. And I'm going to keep putting these videos up, and I'm going to keep inspiring people. And find yourself a good stencil or draw yourself a nice black butterfly and make your designs on the inside, your little wings, the inside, design all of that. I've outlined it with gold. I've also outlined it with black to kind of separate it from that background on the stone. And now I'm going to fill it in with color. So I am going to use, if you watched yesterday's tutorial, I am going to be using mostly Folkart, DecoArt and Folkart paints for this. So my colors are going to stay nice and bright on top of that black. And I'm just using a standard dotting tool. You can use whatever you want. You can even use like an old pen that dried out. Just keep wiping it off. I use a little towel. I have a towel on my lap and I wipe off the dots on my towel or my shirt, depending on what shirt I'm wearing. I know you guys do the same thing. Don't you lie. I know you do. My ex-husband said something about how I would just wipe the paint all over my sweatshirts or all over my t-shirt. And it's like, yeah, shut up. That's my uniform. That's my uniform. So yeah, I either have a towel that sits on my lap and I'm wiping it on my clothes. You can use toothpicks, you can use the ends of knitting needles, you can find whatever you can, but dotting tools, the ones I'm using, they're super cheap. You can find them if you shop on Amazon. You can buy them in anywhere that sells nail supplies and nail polishes. So here in Canada, there's a few places like, oh gosh, is it Sally's? Now I don't even remember. There's places like that you can go in and they have pretty much anything for hairdressers, but you can also shop there as well. Hair salons and nail technicians go there to get their supplies, but you can also shop there. But yeah, dotting tools, you can sometimes get them at Dollarama or dollar stores. They're usually in the nail art section where you can get like fake nails and nail polish and nail stickers and stuff like that. They are literally just like dots, just little tips. So toothpicks work, or anything that you can find that's similar to that. But these are easy to use. I'm not really worried about the size of the dots. I'm just filling in with color. So I'm going with a nice bright, perfect purple from Folkart. I will list the paint brand as well as the names in the description of this video. I'm also using patina, which is a nice, like, kind of like a light mint blue, mint greenish blue. And I'm just filling in. I did half purple, half blue. And then at the very tip is going to be lime green. Just let me check to make sure that's what it's actually called. Yes, lime green. It's Folkart. So these colors aren't going to dim down when I resin this. They're actually going to brighten on top of that black, which is very important for when you're doing dots on top of black. And I always do my dots on top of black if you've been here before. If you're new here though, thank you. Welcome. Guys, do me a favor and hit the like button for me. If you can, and if you watch any of my old videos, please hit the like button for me. I sometimes forget. I watch mostly YouTube, like documentaries and all sorts of fun stuff on YouTube. And I sometimes forget to hit the like button, even if I really enjoyed it, or even if I learned something like from YouTube University somewhere. I forget to hit the like button. And I've noticed that in my analytics and stuff, you guys are also forgetting to hit the like button. So I'm going to ask you, I hate being that YouTuber that is like, hit the like and subscribe. I hate that. It's annoying. But I am going to say it. Please hit the like button and make sure you're subscribed and make sure you have your alerts set to all so that you know when I upload right away and you don't miss anything. I have a few cool ones coming, so I'm excited for those. And yeah, you can choose whatever colors you want for this, by the way. Not to drastically change the subject, but I don't like the whole like me, pick me, you know, it makes me feel weird. But yeah, it does help my channel if in a free way. It helps me get seen more. It helps YouTube say, hey, people like this. Let's spread this around a little bit. Let's see who else likes it. So it doesn't just go to you guys who subscribe to me. It also goes to people who don't subscribe. So yeah, it's just a free way to help me. Now, you can choose to leave that in black and not keep going. I want to give you that option. It looks nice just like that. And then you go with like the little center body part. You can go fast forward, ahead, fast forward. Do people even say that anymore? Fast forward, rewind. Skip ahead to where I do the body. And because I'm going to be using some chrome flakes for that part. Or you can continue watching as I drastically change the look of this butterfly. I needed it to look more spring. So I am going to completely change the look of this and add a few more colors. But first I thought we better separate our wings because my stencil didn't separate the wings. So I'm separating the wings. I will also leave, if you also have a Cricut machine, I will leave the number, if that's what it is, I think it's like a number, of the butterfly stencil thing that I cut out on my machine. Gosh, why do I even talk? I actually had someone's like, why, not to be, they were saying it in a nice way, but why don't you play music so that you don't have to talk so much? And I'm like, oh, I like talking. I do. I have fun. It's like I'm chatting with friends, even though my neighbors probably think I'm crazy because I'm having a conversation by myself and I'm giggling and maybe I am crazy. Who knows, people? No, but I tried the music thing and it didn't work. A lot of people complained about the music, and so I just talk and gab and laugh and giggle and be silly, and say silly things and have my own terminology for everything, like the Cricut machine. But I'll leave the number for this butterfly either way. But you can do whatever kind of butterfly you want and start off with black and gold as your outline, or black and silver, or you could do black and white and then fill it in with colored dots. Do what you want with it. You could do blending in some of it and then dot the other spots. It's up to you. But I'm just going to go from yellow to orange to pink, or yellow to orange to pink. I think that'll look nice. And I'm using DecoArt for my yellow, moon yellow from Folkart. And then I'm going to be using Pure Pumpkin from DecoArt, which is the same brand I use for my black and white. And I get it from my local Dollarama. And it actually is the most pigmented, that right there. And Tutti Frutti, I'm going to be using that today as well. That's also from Dollarama. I find that these two colors are very pigmented and I don't lose that brightness when I resin, like I did with the Arteco paints. Some of the lighter colors like yellow, orange, and light pinks in Folkart, they're also kind of translucent. So today I'm going to try DecoArt, Pure Pumpkin, and Tutti Frutti. And I know Pure Pumpkin works because I've been using that for 10 years too. Tutti Frutti, we'll see how that matches up on top of black paint It's a bright pink, like bubblegum, hubba bubba. I can smell it. We're going to see what it does to this black paint shortly and see how it handles the resin. See if it dims it down. I don't think it's going to because I trust DecoArt paint. It's actually pretty good and it's very inexpensive. You know, Dollarama and dollar stores, nothing's $1, right? Unless maybe it is where you are, please tell me. Because where I am, I don't think there's a single thing that I can get for $1 at the store. But I think these paints are $1.50. And they're big bottles. There's like 4 fluid ounces in them. And there's usually only 2 fluid ounces in the Folkart paints. And I like the consistency too for dotting. For the Dollarama paints, for some reason they stand up really well. That tutti fruitti is nice and bright, and I'm just mingling in the colors. I'm only doing one wing right now to show you, and then I'll fill in the other one when you're not watching. But just to show you the transition from the yellow to the orange to the pink, you can kind of mingle in a little bit when you transition from one color to the next, just kind of overlap a little bit. And then they just kind of flow into each other and they look really nice. I really like this. I think these colors look great together, unique, and you don't even think about the fact that this is a stencil and that I was not able to draw a perfect butterfly by hand. You can do this with any colors you want. You can do red, white, and blue. You can do all greens. You can do all shades of pink. You can do like a monarch. Totally up to you. I like the dotting. I think it's, instead of blending, taking a little break from blending. I'm taking a little break from blending. Okay, so this is how it looks. I think that's bright and beautiful, and it's going to brighten even more when I give it its little resin bath. So I'm going to use UV nail gel under the UV light right here, just for his body. And I'm going to cook that under there for 1 minute and 20 seconds. No, 120 seconds. What am I thinking? And then I'm using chrome flakes, which you've seen me use many, many times. I've purchased chrome flakes on Amazon in the past, and they're fairly inexpensive and they last forever. I haven't had to buy them for years, so I still have lots left to brush off any excess flakes once you're done scrubbing that on. I use like a little fluffy brush to just brush that on there, and it sticks to that UV gel great. Then I outlined it again. So I am going to resin that stone, and we're going to see it in just a second, but I did promise that I was going to show you some of the rocks that I was making. We're going to see some of these in a tutorial soon. I'm not going to tell you which ones, but we're going to see some very, very soon, and I have a gnome coming. But here is our finished product. Now this is natural lighting. There's no like light bulb on it or a flash on my camera. This is just sitting by a window. These colors did not dull in any way whatsoever. They look fantastic. They worked great. I decided to make more than one. I will list all the paint colors and brands in the description. I love you guys. Hi, Beckett. I hope you guys are doing well in England. I love you all. I want you to keep painting, and I will be back very, very soon. Let me know what you think of this beautiful butterfly in the comments, and also post some ideas for me as well if there's something you want to see. Sometimes I already have that and I share that video with you, but leave your ideas in the comments. Let's keep each other inspired and keep creating. Bye, guys.